All right, the news that we're beginning with, the Delhi High Court today wrapped all parties sparring over Shakur Basti demolition, be it the railways, be it the Delhi government, be it the Delhi police. The court has issued notices to all three parties asking them to give a detailed account of what led to the demolition of shanties in West Delhi. Using strong words, the Delhi High Court has called the demolition inhumane and asked the government and other authorities to provide relief to the people who have been displaced. The Delhi High Court said it is a matter of people's lives. The authorities have acted in an irresponsible way. In strongest comments, the court has said that people in power have no idea what their demolition orders can do to those who are powerless. I want to cut across to my colleague Anusha, getting us up to speed with this High Court order. Anusha, what is interesting is, because this takes away the blame game entirely, because all three sparring parties have now been questioned as to what their role was before the demolition.
Absolutely correct, Preeti. One of the key factors that was also pointed out when this public interest litigation came before the Delhi High Court is that when such matters of importance are looked at, which affect so many people at the same time, especially demolition cases, there is usually a social impact study or a discussion or a multi-party consultation like here within the Delhi government and the railways that happens, which was totally absent in this case, which did not happen. That was one of the arguments that the Delhi High Court looked into and said that, that's when this observation came of the powerful versus the powerless. Keeping that in mind, the court also said that all the parties here must take responsibility and gave a step-by-step account of how the relief and rehabilitation measures are being taken for those affected. Over 1,000 people have been affected by this demolition, and of course each party will have to file their responses at the Delhi High Court as soon as possible.
Anusha, any observations made on the blame game, the politics that is being played on it?
Well, of course, not something very directly pretty, but of course the politicization of this entire matter was one of the reasons that urged the court today, that it came down heavily on all the parties. That was one of the reasons that the court said that all parties must ensure that each of them files a response and also tells the court what their roles will be in the relief and rehabilitation. That was one of the court's ways of trying to take the politics away from this, a kind of crisis that has happened and affected so many people.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Anusha. What we are going to do is come back to you for more updates on the story. But meanwhile, shifting focus as we speak, as the Delhi High Court coming down strongly on all sparring parties, be it the railways, be it the Delhi government, or be it the Delhi police. Well, the political blame game still continues. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, just a short while back, met the Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu in Delhi. After the meeting, the Delhi CM said that he told the Railways Minister that no demolition should be done without a prior rehabilitation plan in place.
रेलवे मंत्री जी के साथ बहुत अच्छी मुलाकात हुई और उनका बहुत ही सकारात्मक और बहुत पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड था, और इन प्रिंसिपल ये डिसाइड हुआ है कि आने वाले समय में कभी भी कहीं भी बिना रिहैबिलिटेशन के डिमोलिशन नहीं किया जाएगा। किसी भी ज़मीन की उनको ज़रूरत है, अगर ये डिसाइड हुआ कि अगले 3 साल या 4 साल में रेलवे को अपने जिस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए जहाँ ज़मीन की ज़रूरत है वो हमें एक शेड्यूल बना के दे दें, प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट, और प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट टाइम के हिसाब से दिल्ली सरकार अपनी रिहैबिलिटेशन पॉलिसी के हिसाब से पहले उन लोगों को रिहैबिलिटेशन करेगी।
All right, so what's just happened right now is that the Delhi Chief Minister, along with the Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu and the Railway Board members, were locked in a meeting at the Railway Bhavan on the back of the blame game that we've been witnessing post the Shakur Basti demolition. Well, it seems that it was a constructive meeting, as being pointed out by the Delhi Chief Minister there, where the important point, the operative line that has come across is that from here on, there will be no demolition drive that will take place if there is no counter rehabilitation in place. Only demolition will take place once prior arrangements of rehabilitation of those have been made. I want to cut across to Ankit Tyagi. He's joining us right outside the Railway Bhavan live. Ankit, it's, the blame game erupting on one side, but what's rather interesting is because the Delhi High Court now stepping in, wrapping all parties in this who are sparring, be it the Delhi police, the Delhi government and the railways. What has been the operative points that have come out of that meeting? I believe we're having an audio connect problem with Ankit. Let me once again try and build contact. All right, I believe Ankit is with us right now. Ankit, the operative lines from that meeting, primarily it seems that there has to be counter rehabilitation if there is going to be demolition.
That's right. In fact, we were expecting fireworks at that meeting because both the railways and the Delhi government have been at each other's throat, both trying to say that the other party is wrong and lying. But the meeting went quite well. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal, Chief Minister of Delhi, came out and said that Suresh Prabhu and the other members of the railway, they were very cordial with them. Now what has been decided is that there will be no new demolition in the national capital. And if a demolition has to happen, it will happen phase-wise. First, the planning would be done to rehabilitate people, and then railways or any other authority will move ahead and get that structure cleaned up. So that's what has been decided. Apart from that, the existing situation in Shakur Basti, both railways and Delhi government have said that they are going to work together to provide relief for the people, those who have been, in fact, rendered homeless after this demolition drive.
All right, so well, that's constructive, at least something coming out of that counter-rehabilitation plan before a demolition drive is going to take place. That's the operative line coming out of the meeting. But Ankit, it's rather interesting because since the morning we've seen the centre and the state, whereas Delhi trading charges. The High Court stepping in and putting the record straight. All three sparring parties, be it the Delhi police, the Delhi government or the railways, are answerable in this.
That's right. In fact, the High Court putting a bottom line to this entire confrontation, if I may call it so. It again seemed that this issue was also turning into a political, confrontation between the Aam Aadmi Party, the centre vis-a-vis railways, and the Delhi police also jumping in, taking side of the railways. So the High Court has now put the bottom line very straight. It said that all three have to work together. The people at the end of the day are suffering, and it's about all those more than 500 families being rendered homeless. Apart from that, one child losing its life in this entire demolition drive.
All right, Ankit, we're going to cut across to what Anand, our colleague, spoke to the baby's family, the baby that passed away allegedly in this demolition drive. But on the other hand, what's the latest? Because now the problem is that nobody can come to a conclusive point on what time the demolition was carried on.
That's right. So now there are 2 points. The major point of confrontation in this death of the 7-month-old baby girl is when the demolition started. The railways and the Delhi police are on one side. They are saying that demolition started on Saturday post 12 in the afternoon. On the other hand, the family, along with the Aam Aadmi Party, claims it started way earlier, and it was when the family tried to salvage whatever they could when the demolition started. This baby girl she fell, and there was a bundle of clothes that fell on her and she died. The post-mortem report that we accessed in the afternoon clearly shows that there was a blunt force trauma on the head and the chest of this girl. She was at around 11:35 brought to the hospital, where she was declared dead on Saturday. The post-mortem says that the time of death could be anywhere from 8 a.m. in the morning to 10 a.m. On Saturday morning. So now the point of confrontation is when this entire demolition started, but I don't think there is going to be much answers or even politics on that, because it somehow seems that Suresh Prabhu and Arvind Kejriwal coming together has more or less sorted this issue out as far as demolition is concerned.
In a shocking crime in Mumbai, dead bodies of noted artist Hema Upadhyay and another suspected to be her lawyer, Harsh Bambani, were found in a sewage drain in Kandivali, Mumbai.